Namaskar, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sandhya, and I will be guiding you through your yoga morning practice for today. This morning, we will be doing a gentle yoga flow with a focus on side body stretching. We're going to start with our centering, so just coming to a comfortable seated position on your mats. Closing the eyes, relaxing the shoulders, bringing the chin parallel to the floor. Just begin to lengthen the breath here. Feel each inhale and feel each exhale. With each breath, just feel the body relaxing further, mind clearing, just being present here and now. Letting go of any thoughts or emotions that bring you into worldly thinking. Just centering in that inner space of infinite love, peace, goodness, wisdom, and vitality. Feeling the support of the space, the lightness of being. We take this moment now to invite the presence of all of our guides and masters of light for our yoga practice for today. And as we move through our day following this practice, may we always feel their guidance and the divine grace. And we'll open our yoga practice with the sacred sound of Om, the primordial sound. Breathing out gently. In. Keeping that feeling of lightness, gently opening the eyes. And I invite you just to start the legs out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake, loosening them up, releasing any feeling of numbness or tension. Good, and then I invite you to come back to that comfortable seated position for our breathing and pranayama practice for this morning. So this can be a comfortable cross-legged position. Maybe you're sitting on your heels, maybe you're sitting on a block or a cushion. Maybe you're even sitting on a chair. Making sure you're comfortable to sit here for the next little bit. So we'll start just with our cleansing breath, just to clear out any carbon dioxide or stale oxygen that's built up in our lungs overnight through shallow breathing. So, breathing out. Breathing in. And relax. Breathing deeply, regulating the breath here. Just observing the body, subtle and physical. And taking a few moments. Thank you. Gently opening the eyes. We'll move on to our first pranayama exercise, Kapalabhati, or breath of fire. This is just to further energize our subtle bodies, really wake ourselves up. So as you remember, this is that sharp exhalation through the mouth. The inhalation comes naturally. We'll do about a minute. If at any point you're feeling dizzy or lightheaded, please stop, breathing deeply and normally, regulate the breath, and then join back in when you feel ready. So we'll start with a cleansing breath out. Inhale, and then we'll begin. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And relax. Breathing, inhaling through the nose. Cleansing breath out. And relax and observe. Deep, slow breaths here. Gently opening the eyes. And we will repeat a second round of our Kapalabhati. Cleansing breath out. In. Begin. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And relax. Breathing deeply and normally here. Observing. Just being present. And then we'll gently open the eyes when we feel ready. And we will continue with our pranayama exercise, moving onto our alternate nostril breathing. This, as we know, helps to bring balance to our physical and subtle bodies, the left and right sides of the brain, the left and right energies, the heating and cooling. So we'll do this with a count. We'll inhale for a count of 4, and we'll exhale for a count of 8. The reason why we exhale longer than our inhale is because we're really trying to expel all the air out of our lungs and fill it with fresh oxygen. So we tend to hold remnants of air in our lungs even after we exhale. And we're really trying to clear it out so we can take in more fresh oxygen to really revitalize our bodies. So we'll start by finding our mudra. We tuck our middle and our ring finger in towards the palm. Our pinky and our ring finger is out, so it's the index and the middle finger that's tucked into the palm. The ring finger on the pinky is out, and the thumb is out. These will be used to do the blocking. So we'll start by plugging the right nostril, and we'll breathe, exhale through the left nostril. We plug our right nostril, breathing out through the left. Good. In through the left, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Plug left, exhale right. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale right. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Plug right, exhale left. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale left. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale left. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. In right. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale left. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale left. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale right. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale right. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale left. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale left. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale right. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Inhale right. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale left. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. In left. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale right. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. In right, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, left, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. In left, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, right, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. In right, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, left, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. Taking the fingers gently from the face, breathing in deeply through both nostrils, regulating the breath, and just observing anything that's coming up in the inner space. Observing. And slowly we'll open our eyes. And again, let's straighten out our legs and just begin to shake them out a little bit, releasing any tension. We have been sitting for quite a bit. Great. And then I invite you to come to your mats, lying on your back, bringing your feet together. Soles of feet together, letting your knees fall open. Let one hand come to your heart and bring one hand to your belly here. As we breathe here, just enjoy the stretch, the gentle stretch in the legs, the gentle hip opening. Slowly bring the knees together, bringing both feet flat on the floor. We'll come into a tall stretch here. Feet and hand extend away from each other on the floor. Feet point in one direction, hands reach tall overhead. Let's bring the right hand to the left forearm, and let's make a C shape. As we curve towards the right side, feeling the deep stretch along the left side of the body. Reach with the hands, reach with the feet. Inhale and exhale here. Big breath in. Exhale, let's come back into center. Arms still overhead on the floor. Now we'll repeat on the other side. Take the left hand onto the right forearm or wrist. Begin to pull towards the left side, making a C shape. As the legs move to make a C, and the arms move to make a C. Feeling a tall and deep stretch along the right side of the body. Really breathing into this stretch here, our real first stretch of the morning. On your next exhale, come back to center here. Soles of the feet back onto the mat, bend the knees. Bring the left leg long onto the mat. Draw the right knee into the chest and hug it in to the chest as much as you can for a gentle stretch here. If you need to, you can also bend that left knee if the leg can't rest flat on the mat. Deep breaths. Release the right foot back down onto the mat. Both feet flat on the mat. Switch sides. Right leg now comes out straight. Left knee comes into chest as much as possible. If you need to, you can bring that right sole of the foot on the floor if the leg can't stretch out flat on the mat. Release the leg. Plant both feet onto the mat. Curling onto one side, we'll gently push ourselves up. Curling onto one side, pushing ourselves up onto our hands and knees, coming into our tabletop position. If you need, use a cushion under the knees to support them. Or you can also use a second mat or roll up the mat that you do have. If you need to rest the wrist at any time, you can also try coming onto your forearms or also using a cushion under the wrists. We're going to come into our cat-cow pose. Inhale, let the belly drop, chest comes forward, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button comes in. Belly button comes in. Inhale. Push the chest up, looking up. Exhale, cat. Puff up the upper back. Inhale, cow. Shoulder blades come together. Exhale, cat. Push through the hands to really ground the spine here. One more, inhale, cow, looking up. Exhale, chin to chest, cat. Come back to a neutral spine. So now very gently, we're going to turn our fingertips away from us, pointing towards the knees, and gently sit back towards the heel area. This can be a pretty deep stretch in the wrist, so be very aware of how much you're leaning back. Keep pushing the heels of the hands towards the floor. Feel the weight shifting to the fingertips, but be very careful. Okay, release. Shake out the hands, sitting back on the heels here, giving them a little bit of a break. And then let's come back to tabletop. We're going to come into a half stretch here. Inhale, right leg comes long. Toes flex onto the floor. Left knee is still bent on the mat. Exhale, press the right heel back, even though it's pressing into the air here. Press into the mat with your hands to stay supported. As you press the back heel back, really feel this deep stretch along the back of that right leg. Breathing deeply here. Hip stretch. We're going to remove the right leg, cross it over the back of that left leg to the back left corner of your mat. So it's crossing over that back heel. On your next exhale, gaze over the left shoulder to look over that crossed heel. Breathe into the right side of the body here. Feel that stretch along the entire right side of the body. One more breath. Exhale, bring the right knee back to the mat as we come to neutral table. Calf stretch on the left side. Left leg comes back, toes flexing onto the mat. Press the left heel back. Hands rest on the mat for support. Stay lifted in the chest. Continue to gently press the heel back. Feel this deep stretch in the back of that left leg. Now we'll come to a hip stretch. So that left foot crosses over that bent right leg to the back right corner. Look over your right shoulder to look at that crossed foot. And inhale, breathe into that left side stretch here. Exhale, feel the stretch. Continue to breathe. Exhale, left knee back to the mat, tabletop. Low lunge. So keep your left knee where it is and step your right foot forward. We're going to come into a low lunge here. Use your right hand to help the leg forward if you need to. And your hands frame that front right foot. Holding here and breathe. Now we'll come into our crescent lunge. Inhale as you reach both arms to the sky, remembering if you need to cushion the mat under that back knee, do so here. As your hands reach up, we can either choose to stay here or we can grab the left forearm with our right hand. So grab the left wrist and you can begin to twist, turn, stretch towards the right side. Otherwise, you can stay in that crescent lunge. Feel a stretch in that left side body once again. Breathe and hold here. And let's come back if we came into that side stretch. On our next exhale, we'll bring the hands to the mat. Now we'll come into an easy twist. So left hand presses into the mat. We pick the right hand up. Maybe turning the gaze up to the sky, or maybe continuing to look at the mat, twisting open to that bent right knee. Really reach for the sky here. Inhale and exhale. Then on your next exhale, bringing the hand back to the mat as we come into that low lunge. We're going to come into warrior two on our knees. So with that front right foot bent, still forward, we're going to begin on that right knee back. We're going to begin to sweep our left foot back towards the right side. The left leg, the left calf muscle is perpendicular to that right foot. We're facing the side. Arms stretch out in shoulder height T position. And then if we feel steady here, we can begin to look towards the front right fingertips. Otherwise, we can just keep our hands at our hips here. And continue to look forward. Shoulders down. The right knee should be over the ankle, not passing it. And hold here. So with the knees, legs staying where they are, going to come into our extended side angle. That right arm is going to rest on that bent right knee. And maybe that left arm is going to reach behind us, holding here, or it's going to reach up and over. Keep the knees over the ankle here. Continue to breathe, open the chest. Maybe the gaze is forward, or maybe it's turned up towards that hand. Continue to breathe. On your next exhale, come back to that low lunge back on the mat. Inhale, come back up, draw the hands to heart center. And then we're going to twist towards the right as we do a revolved crescent. That left elbow is hooking on the outside of that bent right knee as much as possible. You can also choose just to stay in the forward position in our low lunge, but this adds a bit of a twist. Hands pressing together. Use that for support here. Breathing in and out. On your next exhale, we unwind. Once again, we come back to that low lunge. And come back with the hands on the mat, back to our tabletop position. Shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. So separating the knees here and pushing back to child's pose position for a few minutes. You can sit on a block here. Just breathing for a few moments, feeling the stretch in the back. And then let's come back to our tabletop position once again. So now we're going to come into our low lunge on the other side. So using that left hand as much as you need to help that left leg step forward in between the hands. Hands frame that front foot here. Breathing in. Raise the hands up, reaching to the sky in our crescent lunge. Bringing the arms, biceps to frame the ears. Again, make sure you provide the proper padding for your knee if you need to. You can stay in that low lunge or you can come into that taller expression. You can also choose to stay in this tall expression with the arms raised, or you can grab the right wrist with that left hand and stretch towards the left side, feeling that deep side body stretch along the right side. Breathing here, balancing. And let's come back to crescent lunge, bringing the hands down to that low lunge position. Easy twist. Right hand presses down, left arm reaches up as we twist towards the left side. Maybe your head is looking up towards that hand, or maybe it's looking down. Breathing here. On your next exhale, bring that hand back down, coming into the regular low lunge. And now we're going to come into our warrior two on the knees. So sweep that right leg around and behind so that right calf is perpendicular to that front bent left foot. Hips are open here to the side. You're facing the side here. Arms come out into maybe that shoulder height T position. And maybe you're looking over those front left fingertips. You can also choose just to keep the hands on the hips as you look forward. You can add more of a balance challenge with the arms straight out. Breathing here. Shoulders relaxed and down, whether they're stretched or at the hips. Okay, and extended side angle here. So that left arm rests on that left thigh. The right arm maybe reaches behind you, or maybe it comes back over, stretching forward past the right ear. Your gaze is up to the ceiling. Maybe it's to the side. Breathe here. Breathing and holding. And let's come back to a low lunge with the hands back down, framing that front left foot. Inhale, we'll rise up and bring the hands to the heart center here. You can choose to stay here, or you can revolve here. Right elbow on the outside of that left thigh as we gaze up to the ceiling or to the side. Palms pressed together, trying to keep the spine as straight as possible. Breathing here. This is a pretty deep stretch for the spine. Breathing here. And then on your next exhale, let's unwind and bring the palms back to frame that front foot. Let's return to tabletop here. Move that left leg back and come to shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And then slowly let's bring the knees wide once again, shifting the hips back towards the heels. Let's come into a child's pose for just a few breaths here. Maybe sitting on a block. Good, and then on your next inhale, we'll come back up to the tabletop. Using your hands for support here. Bringing the soles of the feet to the floor. We're going to come into a forward fold. So keeping a gentle bend to the knees. Letting the head hang heavy here. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows and letting the head hang in between the space. Maybe your hands reach the floor, or maybe they're resting on a block. Knees are not locked as we breathe and just try and relax into this fold. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly release here. Slowly tuck the chin into the chest and just curl up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Tuck the chin into the chest so that the head is the last to come up. Once you reach a standing position, just roll the shoulders back and find Tadasana. Chin parallel to the floor, shoulders back and relaxed. Now let's come into our star pose. So turning, so you're now facing the length of your mat. Step that right leg out, bringing the legs wide, hands by the sides. All 10 toes are pointing. To the right side. Bring the arms up overhead. And we're going to come into a wide-legged fold here. So maybe as you fold forward, again, don't lock the knees. But folding forward, holding onto the thighs, maybe holding onto the calves. Maybe you can even hold onto the toes. Just feeling the stretch in the hamstrings and in the inner thighs here. You can also, again, rest your hands on a block in front of you if you don't want to rest them on the thighs or the calves. You can even rest your hands on a chair if you have one. We fold here. And then slowly walking hands up the legs here for support. Let's tuck the chin into the chest once again and come to a standing position. Once we come up to a stand, we're going to come back to our Tadasana posture, facing the width of the mat, looking forward. Eagle pose. We're going to do our eagle pose as much as we can. So first, shift the weight into the right foot and pick up the left leg. Try and cross the left leg over the right, maybe as if you're crossing your legs in a chair. Hands can rest by the sides or rest on the hips. Try to keep the back as straight as possible here. Now you can choose to stay here and focus on keeping the legs crossed and balancing here, or you can bring the right arm under the left, maybe holding onto shoulders, or maybe bringing backs of hands together or front of hands together. Remembering you can also just keep the hands on the hips if this is enough of a stretch for you. Just hold and breathe here. Slowly uncoiling the arms, bring them to the hips, uncross the leg, and come back to our standing Tadasana posture. Now we'll find our star pose on the other side. So stepping the left leg back, turning so we're facing now the length of our mat, facing the left side, bringing the hands to the sides of the legs. Inhale, raise the arms together, palms together, and we're going to take a wide-legged fold. So maybe as we fold forward, our hands are resting on our thighs or our calves, maybe on our toes, maybe on a block in front of us, or even a chair. Let's fold here. The knees are not locked, but relaxed as we fold with this wide-legged stance. And then slowly walking the hands back up the legs. We're going to come back up to that standing posture. Then we're going to begin to step the feet together to the front of our mat, to the width, as we come into Tadasana. Let's come into our eagle pose. So now shifting the weight to the left leg, we're going to pick up the right. Crossing the right leg over the left. Getting steady and strong here, hands by the sides or on the hips. Trying to really keep the back as straight as possible here. Now you can choose to stay here, or then take the right arm under the left. Maybe holding the shoulders, back of palms together, maybe front of palms. Finding a balanced focus. Remembering you can keep your hands on your shoulders or even on your hips. Just finding a nice balance. Finding a stretch in the arms, a twist. And just allowing the breath to continue to flow. Don't hold the breath. And slowly releasing the hands down to the hips. We're going to uncoil the legs and come to our standing Tadasana. Giving everything a little bit of a shake here to releasing out anything. From our Tadasana, we'll reach the hands overhead and slowly lower down, coming into that forward fold once again. In our forward fold here, bending the knees as much as you need to, planting the palms on either side of the feet. We're going to step back and come into that tabletop position we were in before. And then we're going to shift the weight back towards the heels, sitting off to the side. Let's swing the legs out in front of us. And then we're going to draw the soles of the feet together on the mat. Trying to keep the back as straight as you can. So even if the knees are pretty high up, and also bring the heels a little bit further away from you. The closer your heels are into your body, the deeper of a stretch you're going to get. And from here, keeping the soles of the feet together as much as you can, we're going to inhale the hands up overhead. And we're going to exhale, we're going to try and twist towards that right knee as we bring our hands down. Inhale, bringing the hands back up. Exhale, twisting towards the left knee, hands come down. Inhale, up. Exhale, turn to the right side. Inhale, up. Exhale, turn towards the left side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down by the sides. And then slowly releasing the soles of the feet, bringing the legs out straight in front of you as much as you can. We're going to flex the feet here. Knees, again, aren't locked, but they're straight as much as possible, and back is straight. We're going to inhale the hands up overhead. Exhale, right hand comes down, left hand stretches over towards the right. Inhale, up. Left hand reaches down, right hand stretches over. Inhale, up. Right hand down, stretch. Inhale, up. Left hand down, stretch. Inhale, back up. Okay, and then we're going to bring our legs wide here. So as wide as you can do so and sit comfortably. So it doesn't have to be so wide. But you want a little bit of a stretch in the inner thigh and maybe in the hips. Okay, and then we're going to inhale the hands up. Exhale, we're going to try and reach forward. Touching down, inhale back up. Exhale, reaching forward. Touching down, inhale back up. And exhale the hands back down. Okay, with our hands, we're going to inhale the hands back up. This time, we're going to, as we exhale, we're going to slide the right hand down that right leg as we reach forward towards those right toes with the left hand. Inhale back up, both hands come up. Exhale, we're going to slide that left leg down the left hand down that left leg as the right hands reach towards the toes. Inhale back up. Exhale, right hand slides, left hand reaches. Inhale back up. Exhale, left hand slides, right hand reaches. And inhale back up, hands release down. Let's come into a reclining position from here. So bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to rest. And slowly let's come down onto our backs here. Then let's draw the knees into our chest and give ourselves a hug once we are on our backs. Giving yourself a hug. And then let's bring our arms out onto the floor. Shoulder height T position, but palms are actually resting out on the floor. Let's take the right leg and cross it over the left leg. And then begin to drop those left knees, those bent knees towards the left side as the gaze turns to the right. Really feeling that side stretch. Breathing deeply. And slowly drawing the knees back into center here. Let's uncross the legs. Left leg crosses over the right, dropping those crossed legs towards the right. Gaze turns towards the left. And slowly drawing the knees back into center, uncrossing the legs. Drawing the knees into the chest, again, giving yourself a hug, maybe rocking gently from side to side, drawing circles with the lower back. And from here, let's carefully and slowly roll onto our stomachs. From here, we're going to bring our arms out as if they're goal posts. So elbows in line with the shoulders, palms facing down on the floor, and bring your head to center if it's not already there, bringing the forehead onto the mat. If you need to, you can put a towel or something to cushion your forehead here. And from here, keeping the legs on the mat, we're going to begin to draw the elbows down as if we're trying to draw the shoulder blades together on our back as our elbows come down. And then inhale, slowly release. And then exhale, draw the elbows down, trying to bring the shoulder blades together. You're almost as if you're trying to bring the elbows to touch at your back. Feeling that stretch in the shoulders and in the back. Okay, inhale and release. And then exhale, one last time. Draw the shoulders down, trying to bring the elbows together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. One last time. And release. Stretching the arms overhead. You can turn your head to one side and just let yourself relax for a few breaths here. Good, and then we're going to slowly bring the head back into center. I'm going to bring our palms so that they're resting under our shoulders here. Engaging our back muscles, engaging our core muscles. Not tensing our legs, keeping the legs relaxed. We're going to lift our chest and our gaze up, coming into baby cobra. So most of the strength is happening in our back. We're not necessarily pushing a lot with our hands into the mat, but we're lifting ourselves with our back muscles. So if you were to pick up your hands, you would be able to very easily because there's not a lot of weight resting on them. Okay. And then slowly release. Arms can stretch back out above your head and turn your head towards the other side. So rest the other ear that wasn't already resting. Breathing here. Good. And then bringing the hands back down under your shoulders, using them for support here to slowly turn yourself onto your back. And once we're on our back, we're going to lift our legs up to the ceiling. The knees can be bent here. They don't have to be perfectly straight. Maybe bringing your hands to rest under your lower back here, palms facing down for some support. Or if you bring your palms by your hips here, palms facing down, you're engaging more core muscles. So this is more of a core challenge. You can support your hands under your lower back as well. And then just begin to walk out the legs a little bit. Maybe pedaling the feet forward and backward. Good. And then slowly lower the feet down. Taking your time, the slower you do it, the more of a core exercise. Releasing your hands from your lower back once your feet are on the ground. And then let's come to our final resting Savasana position. The palms turn up, feet fall open, eyes are closed, shoulders relaxed. And really turn that attention inwards. Keeping the breath long and deep. And we'll do some progressive relaxation just to bring ourselves and our muscles into deeper relaxing. So we're going to pick up the right leg, tense the toes, tense the thigh muscles, tense the calf. Make everything in that right leg very tense as you lift it just a few inches off the floor. Tense it and let it drop to your mat. Picking up the left leg, pointing the toes, flexing the toes, tensing the entire leg, the thigh, the calf. Everything's very tense and relax. Picking up both arms, tensing the shoulders, the biceps, the forearms, making fists with your hands, spreading your fingers, and letting them drop. Lifting the hips, pressing the hands into the floor as you lift the hips. Tense the abdomen. Tensing the hips, tensing the buttocks, and let it drop. And then let's lift the head up just a few inches off the floor. Squeezing your face, trying to make one tiny point with your nose and your lips, and opening your eyes and your tongue wide, and letting your head gently come to the floor. And really now actively breathing into any areas you still feel there is tension. And allow the body to have this time now to really relax. Feeling your toes, feet, ankles relax. Feeling the calves, the knees, the thighs, all relax into the mat. Your hips, stomach, chest, relax. Hands, arms, shoulders, relax. Feeling your eyes, your nose, your lips, your forehead, relax. Being just here now with the breath, feeling the peace of this moment. Just take this moment now to be in gratitude to yourself for choosing to be here, to all the other souls for this co-created space of our digital yoga practice, and to all of our guides and masters of light for all the divine grace and guidance and support we receive in every moment of our lives. And just keeping your eyes closed here, bringing your attention back. Just begin to maybe wiggle the fingers and the toes, but keep the eyes closed here. Keep the focus internal as we slowly bring back the awareness of our body in more gross terms. And we'll stretch the arms and feet overhead from each other. They extend away from each other on the mat. We come into that tall stretch as we did at the beginning of class. And then as we release from this stretch, let's curl onto one side of our mat, holding yourself in the fetal position. Let's slowly push ourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Let's bring our hands to our heart center here. Let's close our yoga practice together with the one Om. Breathing out in, breathing out and in. Om, peace, peace, peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar, everyone. Thank you for practicing with us for today. I wish you a wonderful day. Namaskar.